Thank you very much for coming. I'm Dr. Matt Southgate. I work here at the university, and over the next 10 minutes or so I'm going to tell you more about my experiences with trying to inspire the next generation of engineers. I'm a STEM ambassador. My area of expertise is both electronics and mechanical control and all kinds of programming and low-level electronics. So the university teaches all of the types of subjects that are required for robotics. You've got your science, your technology, your engineering and your maths. It's a taken. This is what we push forward with STEM and the things that need to be encouraged in future engineers. It's not just one of those subjects, but it's all of them. But with robotics, can anyone tell me which category that comes under? It is all of them. Thank you. Because robotics does cover all of the different subjects, it is cross-disciplinary, and for that reason, I think it's far more valuable than pigeonholing engineers into one small category. You're doing electronics, or you're doing programming, or you're a mechanical or a structural engineer, or firmware or systems engineer. Robotics covers the entire span of different subjects. And for that reason, I think it's far more valuable. It's great as a teaching tool, although we don't teach robotics per se. Actually, at the university, we cover all the topics that support it. By doing robotics, you get a much better idea of developing systems. You have a better understanding that you get from actually working with developing solutions to problems. You attempt the next stage, you have a goal, which is where the Vex robotics and the Lego robotics comes in for the children. Because really, by covering those subjects, you don't really... The children of today, 2 decades from now, will be the engineers that we were just seeing presentations from. If we wait until they got to university and you're choosing your degree course, it's already too late. You've got to be inspiring them now, before they work out or they're told that engineering isn't for them. Just as they said, if somebody says no to you, you can't do that, ignore them. But they don't always realise that engineering is a good option. We do need good engineers, and they require all of these skills. And as we go on, you need a broader skill. You're not isolated in one particular category. Now, the gender mix with engineers, can anyone tell me what the current percentage of female engineers are? Ish.
About 9%.
It is about 9-10%. Why? Why is it 9-10%? Just one of those things. It is. But with children, the mix of boys and girls that are actually engaging with the robotics is about 50%. So something's happening in those from a young age, about age 8, which is where the competitions are geared from, 8 to 18. Something's happening that wasn't happening before. There's a drop-off of females in engineering. Okay? With the competitions, you've got your hard and soft skills. Obviously, you've got your technical skills, you've got your programming, you've got your material skills. But a lot of what people learn, and children in particular, is that it's the teamworking skills, it's the sharing, as I mentioned later on, it's the attitude, it's the problem solving, it's the logical thinking that is difficult to teach. They've got to develop it themselves. It's the way, it's enabling them to practice. Now these, as you know, are all skills that are required by employers. They all want problem solving, logical, being able to work in a team, being able to share ideas, being able to present ideas. And these are all things that are drawn out in the competitions. The competitions themselves are actually excuses to give the children safe opportunities to actually practice those skills without knowing it. Okay, and that's where the attitude comes in, because if you're new to the competitions, new teams can be for the Lego robotics up to 15 or 16 in size, whereas the Vex robotics teams are typically about 8. They don't do that well the first time they go to a competition because they don't know what to expect. They got to give presentations, they've got their robot, they're very proud of it, and they've tested it at their school or their college, but they don't actually know how it's... They've watched videos on YouTube, which is great, but it's not the same thing as actually being there and talking to other teams. Now, the bit I really get is that if they do go there, they talk to the other teams, they get ideas, they lose, invariably on the first time, but they go away buzzing. And it's that attitude of, okay, we didn't win, but it's that motivation I want, well, we can do better. And that is really what inspires me to keep going and judging at the competitions. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about the competitions. The first Lego League, both of these are international competitions. We do particularly well in the UK. We actually do... Their education system produces some really good engineers. I think it's a cultural thing. The first Lego Robotics, which is one of their logos in the top left, tests on core values, which is effectively teamwork and sportsmanship. The robot game itself, which I'm going to actually show you some videos because I can only talk and describe them so much, and it's much better to just see them. Gauges the performance of the robot, the design of the robot, and the project write-up. Now, last year it was a trash challenge where they had to design robots using Lego, and only Lego, but any Lego you can find. So that's the scope of it, really. Using the... I've forgotten the name of the controller. The programmable controller that you have with Lego Mindstorms. That's what they use to control it and have sensors. The emphasis of the Lego competition is autonomy. You have effectively a play area. You have a base where you put your robot in, you set it up and it goes and does the different tasks. You have 2 minutes and it can return as many times as you want, and you can put add-ons, your augmentations, you can change the programming, and you set it off again. Whereas with Vex Robotics, it's a much bigger arena. It's a 12 foot by 12 foot area with 2 teams, both with 2 robots, and it's competitive, interactive. So they're competing against each other, whereas the Lego Robotics is just, you are the only robot on the playing field. You know what's there, the tasks are set, and there are far fewer uncertainties, but then it's fully autonomous. Whereas with the Vex Robotics, there's an autonomous first 15 seconds, and then the rest of the time, the teams get to control their robot. Okay, so how does this really work? What's the key ingredient that makes children want to do robotics? How do we get it to work? Any ideas? That's the next slide. That is fun. So it is to make it fun, and to make it fun, it's got to be engaging. And as a judge, we've got to motivate. We're not just there to go, this is the award, you did rubbish. We're there to tell them, okay, well, it didn't work this time, but why do you think it didn't work? And it's that motivation. It's almost a coaching and mentoring approach that we find. And that is the biggest thing when you're judging. It's not about us, it's about the children. And the children are the ones that are going to grow up to be the engineers. Go back one slide. Vex Robotics. Both of the Lego and Vex Robotics competitions are international. They're getting bigger all the time. They're not the only competitions, but they got a Guinness World Record this year. The biggest competition. And with 1,075 teams, which is, year on year, it's getting bigger and bigger. So I don't see any reason why it won't continue. Because robots in space, robots in the sea, robots in nuclear disaster zones, we're going to need them. Somebody's going to design them. And as we all get older, we're going to retire. I'm going to leave that to the next generation. Right, I think it's time for a video. What do you think?
Yeah.
Good.
Where have you come from today?
Peterborough, Bristol, West London,
Fife.
Sheffield,
Ashford, Kent. We came from Middlesbrough.
Carn, Wiltshire. It's been a really, really good experience.
I feel really excited and I really want to do my best and want the whole team to do great.
I think we're going to do quite well because we've practiced a lot on it.
I think it went really well as we worked as a team really good.
We've been quite excited and we've been practicing as hard as we can.
Like, as we're all friends, it's really easy to just talk and like we know what we're doing.
Are you guys confident?
Yeah. Yes.
We just saw one then, it drove straight forward, hit the black line there, turned and then drove, so it's using the black lines as a way of navigating, isn't it? They've picked it up, they've got to keep it going now and tip it off the end, they've done that, that's fantastic, and they're continuing on to pick that up as well.
What's good about this is you know what you've got to work
Yeah,
on, and you can just work on that.
Oh, we've got it, we've got it, we've got it.
They've got it.
It's brilliant.
And it's
Ah,
this
it's
is
done.
a great run. Now they've got to get back there, haven't
No,
they?
yeah.
Oh no, they're going to run out of time. They're going to run out of time. This was so close. I'd have gone with the truck next. So this is
Yeah.
brilliant. That was a fantastic run there.
We're about to do our robot judging design. So the referees judge our robot design and they see how good we've done.
So well done. I think we give them a really big round of applause. To Team 17, the West Linton Wasps.
Look at those faces, they can't believe it. Amazing. Hooray. Guys, you've been absolutely brilliant and hopefully we'll see you next year. Thank you very much for coming.
Did I completely forget to mention the IET is the UK sponsor of First Lego League? The atmosphere at the events, and that was the UK finals. There are regional heats, which STEM ambassadors are more than welcome to. I can actually pass on details. Come along and referee and judge. The children get a lot out of it, and the UK team was unsuccessful actually winning the international competition, but they're really eager to go back again, the Wasps. Okay, so that was the first Lego League. I'm trying to think of other points that are more pertinent. I can next go on to the Vex Robotics video, which is a bit more of a, I'd say, industrial promo video, because there's sound bites from the UK Championships of Vex Robotics is held at the Big Bang Fair at the NEC each and every year, last few years. It runs over 2 days. The fair itself runs over the period of a week and promotes all of the massive industrial development firms. You have Airbus, you have BAE. You can hear something yourself. Let's go to the next slide.
The Vex IQ Challenge gives teachers the opportunity to engage Key Stage 2 and 3 students in a fun and exciting STEM competition which encompasses engineering and programming.
The IQ Challenge is a fantastic opportunity for young people to develop knowledge of building robots, logical thinking about how to go about doing actually a challenge, but also the programming side of the application and how you can actually automate your robot.
What we love about VEX IQ is how it engages the kids to basically have some really great teamwork skills. They get to do some engineering. They just really love doing it. It's amazing how you can see the whole attitude within the group change as well.
We're at the national finals today and that makes me really happy because we worked really hard on our robot and on our STEM project as well.
It's helped build our students' confidence. They've really kind of found their wings really and started to flourish throughout the programme. They've started off with smaller competitions and now they're here at the UK national finals and they can't believe just how well they've done, and it's really helped boost their confidence and morale.
I like the competition because everyone's sort of getting together in one big thing to all win together. You're always trying to help your alliance and help each other to get stronger.
I love VEX because you have the opportunity to design and make new ideas through building robots. You also participate as a team. VEX has given me new opportunities to experience stuff that I've never done before.
It's fantastic to see so many young girls here, you know, over 50%, and it is really great because we're not seeing that in the industry right now. It's around 10%, and so we're looking to initiatives like this to inspire young women to realise that actually engineering is for them, it's for everyone.
So for some of the younger students, this is the first time they've ever taken part in anything like this. They certainly won't forget it. It's something they'll take it forward for the rest of their lives, definitely.
Children of today, pupils at our schools, are the future. They are our future engineers, those that are going to be leading the teams in 2 decades' time. If we don't inspire them now, if I don't, you don't, if the STEM community doesn't inspire them, then it'll be a missed opportunity, a real missed opportunity. Thank you. Any questions? I can't believe I covered everything in so much detail that you have no questions. This is the bit I enjoy more than the presentation itself. The differences in the types of robot are distinct. The VEX robotics is more sheet metal and almost more Meccano based. Whereas with the Lego robotics, they're far bulkier, far less manoeuvrable. Virtually all of the VEX robots have mechanism wheels, so it allows the lateral motion, which helps in a competitive environment, whereas you don't get that with a Lego. Yeah. Oh, question.
Is there anything that we as university or undergraduates can get involved with for similar vein?
There isn't a university level competition at the moment. VEX do offer a university level competition, but it's only currently running in the US. However, the IET will be sponsoring another event that starts next year called the World Robot Olympiad, and that's going to be based in Bath, and that has a completely different format to what's been shown there. It's literally, you have a team of 3 people, you turn up, you're provided with raw materials, frameworks, and you have 2.5 hours to build, program, test and verify your robot to the goal you only find out when you turn up. So that's a bit of a challenge. That's my kind of challenge, and probably you guys too, because you're not school kids. But if we hadn't caught you and got you into engineering by this age, you'd have gone somewhere else. And getting the gender mix sorted, avoiding the stereotypes, and saying that engineering, you can take things apart, you can work out how things work, you can make them better, and not just accept as this is a solution I can buy off the shelf, these are my only solutions. You can make your own, you can engineer a better future for yourself as well as everyone else. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.